Hi, my name is Christina, and I just completed the 3 levels of the meditation retreat. We just come out of silence, and I want to tell you a little bit about my experience and what I've learned here. Hopefully it can be helpful to people that are seeking and curious about what this process will be like. I've done this a few times before, so coming back now this time was particularly special. Every time I come back, nothing is the same. Even though it's the same lessons, everything that I learn builds upon itself, and I think that's really one of the beautiful things about the way that they present the teachings here is there's so much of a curriculum to grab onto, and at the same time, there's endless work that you can do with it on yourself. Because I know for me, everything, things will keep popping up. So I guess I've gotten a little ahead of myself. One of the first things that we learn about is the process of deconditioning from many things in our life that essentially are just keeping us from being happy. And a lot of them for me are conditionings about the ways that things should be, the ways things shouldn't be, preferences that I have that are limiting and that I get pain from believing, desires that my attachment to them can cause pain, and aversions to other things that can cause pain. It's really very personal, and everybody has a different set of rocks that they push during this process. It's really very personal. And the beauty of the deconditioning is that I see it as that trick of pulling a tablecloth with plates on top of it without anything spilling, because you pull out these elements of yourself that you've defined yourself with for so long, whether or not they were positive things or things that were negative, and you felt you still needed to define yourself by them in some way that I know for me, the experience that was ultimately really painful. So they teach you here in so many specific and really wonderful ways that we are not in need of anything. And we don't need these ideas about ourselves in order to be happy, and we don't need to cling to them. And that when we do cling to them, it can cause us to be restless and to be unhappy, or to feel like we can't be content in the moment with the way that things are. And that's really the beautiful basic foundation of the teaching that you'll experience when you come to meditation. And they incorporate it into every aspect of your time here. We have beautiful lessons from Ajay, and then it's incorporated throughout the day as a daily practice. You have the opportunity to practice while you eat and while you do yoga, and definitely when you're just sitting with yourself in silence. It's a very beautiful opportunity to be introspective and to be curious about your conceptions of yourself. And I know for me it was very important to find the willingness to wonder if I still wanted to believe in those things about myself anymore. And I've realized for sure that I don't want to believe in those things anymore. And so then the beautiful work is what they call the inquiry, this series of questions that we ask ourselves when these conditionings come up, whether it's in the form of a thought or a feeling, or some combination of a thought or a feeling, or our reaction to something that happens in our lives, we have a beautiful series of questions that Ajay teaches us that we can then use to, in that moment when we're experiencing it, question whether or not this is real. And real in the sense of, does it exist on its own as something that's true, or is it only true because I give it power with my thoughts and my deep-rooted beliefs to make it appear to be true? And it is really, really, really liberating to be able to look at so many of the thoughts that you've held for a long time, and to be able to let them go is like no other feeling, and it's very humbling and very uplifting, and you get to see who you really are without all of these ideas about how you should or shouldn't be. It's beautiful, and in a way indescribable, except through experiencing it and doing the work on it yourself. But it's fun too. It's fun. It's fun. It's like detective work in looking at how you see the world and being objective and honest about it. This is how I've been seeing things, and this is how that method of seeing things ends up making me feel and ends up manifesting itself in my life. Do I want to keep doing that? And you have, of course, your choice all along the way. It's totally up to you. And it's so cool. And I would recommend coming here to anybody at all that wants more peace, or wants to be happier, or wants to tune in back with themselves, a part of themselves that they feel disconnected from. Anybody that wants to check back in with their sense of well-being will find a beautiful home here with absolutely wonderful, warm people that want nothing but the best for you. And what you get here is a set of tools that you can take with you and keep in your pocket and bring out into the world wherever you go. And it's a wonderful, continuous practice of regaining your peace and your self-love. I hope this is helpful, and I hope anybody looking for answers out there finds exactly what they're looking for. Thank you.